There is a very bitter back and forth going on between Elton John and the fashion designers Dolce and Gabbana. Now, the subject of their war of words, nothing to do with either music or fashion, but it's causing a real firestorm on social media. In fact, it's trending worldwide this morning, and Natasha Fatta has more on what this is all about.
That's right. So let's go through the story, Heather, just in case anybody missed it over the last couple of days. It all started with Dolce, half of Dolce and Gabbana, who did an interview with an Italian magazine, and he was asked about a number of things, including family life. And in that interview, he said that he believed that a family should consist of a mother and a father. That's how it should be. That's why he doesn't have children. And then he goes on to express concerns about fertility treatments and adoptions and what he went on to describe as chemical children, synthetic babies, and wombs for rent. So all of that creating a lot of controversy, lots of people responding, including Elton John, who has 2 children with his longtime partner, and said that these comments were offensive. And so part of the social media process of this story came directly from John, who issued a long statement saying that he found it insulting that his children were being referred to as synthetic. There was a key thing here where he said that Dolce and Gabbana were out of touch with reality and of the times. They said, your thinking is archaic, you're out of step, and then he takes a bit of a cheap shot, some might say, as are your fashions. And he says he'll never wear Dolce and Gabbana again. And then he creates this hashtag that's gone worldwide, boycott Dolce and Gabbana. A number of celebrities have been tweeting using this hashtag, but lots of regular folks too who feel personally involved and compelled to share their stories. So one gentleman shared his story saying, I'm in full agreement with my daughter, boycott Dolce and Gabbana. There's a beautiful little girl holding the sign saying, I'm not a synthetic child, I'm a miracle child that completed my family. Lots of people sharing images like this, but the latest is that we've heard is Gabbana is coming out defending his longtime partner, saying that it's just a personal opinion. We didn't mean to offend anyone. They're surprised that people are getting so angry about personal views, and that also they actually thought that Elton John was an intelligent guy, thought of him as a friend, but no longer so, and they've actually referred to him as a fascist.
Ooh, okay. So it's getting nasty, very much so. And as you suggest, lots of concern from the fashion industry about whether this may end up damaging the brand. You've already found out too, Natasha, there's an additional twist in this story.
Absolutely, and here's the power of social media again, Heather. We know, recently we found out that in 2006, the couple had talked about these very issues in Vanity Fair. So back in that issue, about 9 years ago, what we know is that Gabbana said that he had asked a female friend to be a surrogate for him. We know that Gabbana has what would be described as more liberal views on these matters. But Dolce, who has said the more controversial comments, even back in 2006 said he'd love to have children, but because he's gay, he's not allowed to do so. So their views have been on the record for at least a decade, but it's thanks to social media that they are spreading now worldwide, and these two are really getting the flack for it.
Interesting story that we'll keep an eye on today. Thanks.